Okay, plantation shutters are really nice until this happens, which for me seems to happen quite often. So I've spent a lot of time replacing these little pivot points or whatever they're called, and I've kind of got a system down on how to do this pretty quickly and efficiently. So the first step, and usually the hardest part, is to get the old one out. So the best thing I've found to do it is a good sharp screw. And so what you have to do is you have to look and find a screw where these threads come all the way to I got a cat here, all the way to the tip. Because what you're going to do is you're going to take this, screw it in there, push on it hard. You're trying to get it to dig into that plastic, and then slowly try to pull straight out. Okay. And now usually they don't come out that easy. I've probably replaced this one before, but that's the first thing, is just to get these out. Sometimes you may have to use a screwdriver so you can really get some pressure on it. The other tool that comes in real handy are these picks. And I'll put pictures on the screen or something on where, oh, this is from Harbor Freight. This is like a $3 pick set, but these come in real handy. Okay, now that you've gotten that done, I mean, really on the difficulty scale, you're already 40% finished. Okay, you've gotten the first part done, which is probably 40% of the difficulty. The second part is getting this little thing out. But the first thing I'm going to try to do is just go in, and I'm not pushing hard. I'm trying to just see if the screw will bite. So I'm putting very slight pressure on it. I'm trying to see if these threads will dig into that plastic. And I don't think it's happening. Let's see. No. I think I could get it with the screw, but I want to show you the other way. Take one of these picks, and you're not going into it, you're trying to go between it and the wood. And so I'm going to go down and then up like this, so you can see the shape of this thing. Go in this way, then try to twist. We're getting it. Just picking it out. Sometimes it's a pair of needle nose pliers. Sometimes I've got a little piece of plastic sticking out. I don't think you can see it. You can sometimes grab this and pull. Yeah, it's not strong enough. So back to our pick. Oh, almost had it, and it's coming out in little pieces. Okay, and so in this, usually you can pry them out, but in this case, I can already stick the pick in that far. So I push that thing back in there, which is just as good. Because if you look, that's how far the pin sticks in. So I don't need to get it out. I've got it out of the way. All right, so the next step, now before you put the new one in, test it. Make sure that this thing springs out, because let me find one. I probably won't be able to find one now, but sometimes you'll get some like that. And it's not, see how it's not popping out? There, it popped out. The last thing you want to do is go to the trouble of putting this thing in there and it not work. There, so this one goes in the trash pile. Okay, so we've got one of these that works. Now, what I have found, and this is where you'll just need to test, but what I have found is that for whatever reason, I don't know if it's the brand of shutters I have or whatever, but all the replacement, these shutter pins, whatever they're called, are all, this diameter is bigger than what was in here. So you can't put it in. See, like, that's as far as it wants to go in. What you don't want to do, this is coming from experience because I've made this mistake already, you can jam this thing in there. All right, you can take a pair of pliers, open it up a little bit so you slide over this nipple, and you can push and you can jam this thing in here. There's two problems with that. One, this pin probably won't pop out because you're squeezing this thing, you're squeezing this together. The second thing is, when this breaks again, which it's going to break again, and if you have these shutters, you already know I'm telling the truth, it's going to be a pain to get out. So what you do is get you one of these, and I enlarge these holes just barely. This is kind of having to do this left-handed so y'all can see, but once again, I'll have a link to all this stuff that I bought. Now, this should just slide in. There we go. The good thing about it is when it breaks, you can just come in here. There's not all this drama with screws and picks and all that. You just, because if you can take these out and replace them easily, it's not a big deal. The whole pain in the butt with these things is getting them out. But if you spend a little time when you're replacing them to make it easy on you the next time, it's nothing. Okay, and so once you've got it in, in case you didn't know, you just push this in, and I try to get it on there first and then slide this over till it clicks into place, which it looks like it did. And there you go. Now, I don't know why these things break so often. I don't know if it's because one of the habits people have is when they go like this, they come in here and they'll go like this. Nobody grabs this, they go, or they'll push it, they'll grab one of these things and do this. I mean, I guess, I don't know what caused it, but either way, once you figure out the secret sauce to replace them, it's not a big deal. So just as a recap, a good screw to get out the part in here, this part, and you can see what this is shaped like, so you can really get a screw down in there, and then a pick to try to pick this out. And this is, you either, like I did, I basically picked it out in little pieces. Most of the time with this one, you can actually get in here like this, turn it sideways, and you're grabbing that and pulling it out. You know what I mean? Let me see if I can get in front of the camera. So most of the times you're coming in like this next to it, and then you twist, and as you twist, you're pulling it out. But either way, if you can't get this out, you can do what I did, and you just keep picking at it, and you're breaking off little pieces of it, and then as long as you can get the end of this thing to fit in there, then it doesn't matter if the old one is pushed way down in there. It doesn't really hurt anything. So and then the last thing that I've just started doing is I bought this right angle thing, this right angle drill bit, these shorty drills, which I haven't even looked. I guess you wouldn't need a shorty drill bit, but it sure makes it simple to go in there and just basically open up the hole just a hair. If you look, that drill bit is basically just a hair bigger than these things. Okay, and the final thing I will say is on the replacement pins. I found this. I'm gonna put a, you know, and I don't make any money off this stuff, but I'll put a link, or I'll probably put a picture on the screen of what I bought. But this is 100 of them, and I found these are cheap as like a 10 pack, and this is like the third set I bought. The first one I used them up. The second one I bought them, and I don't know where me and my wife looked. We can't find them, so I lost them. So I just ordered these, and instead of buying 10 at a time, I got this 100 pack for what I've been paying for the 10 pack, and there I can't tell any difference. So buy you just a big monster. You're gonna, if you have these shutters, you know you're gonna go through these, and if you run into a bad one, you just throw it in the garbage. Okay, and that'll be a good thumbnail. But that's all the tools I use. So basically, I have I have these picks. I know they're in my toolbox. I just keep this screw in this box, and then everything else I have in my toolbox. But this combination of stuff right here, I've used to replace even the most difficult of these pins. So this combination here will pretty much solve any problem you got. So I hope this helps. And if you got any questions, just put them below. And if you like it, please give it a thumbs up. See ya. All right, you little criminal. This is it. Don't come back.
So, which way do we let him out? This way?
That way, yeah.
Like how?
Well, you push that thing in. Now, you might want to watch.
You need to move back this side, please, because he's going to shoot out that way.
Okay.
No, don't scare him.
Very good.